They thought they could silence me. They thought I'd just roll over, accept the injustice, and quietly move on with my life. But they didn't realize something crucial. I don't lose. Not when someone attacks my land, my home, and my dignity. So when the HOA decided to fill my private well with concrete, thinking they could force me onto their overpriced water system, they triggered something inside me they couldn't control. A storm. I live on the edge of town, where properties are large and neighbors are few. I chose that area because I value independence. Years ago, when I built my home, I paid out of pocket to dig a deep, private well, clean, fresh water, all mine. No monthly bills, no rationing, no bureaucracy. It was perfect. That was until the Homeowners Association got involved. Initially, they were fine, silent, even. But when new leadership took over, everything changed. It began with letters, warnings, notices, demands. They claimed my well wasn't up to standard, though they couldn't cite a specific code. Then came the threats of fines. I ignored them. I wasn't breaking any laws, and I knew it. My well was inspected and legal. But one day, I returned home from a weekend away to find a crew on my property. My well, my beautiful, independent well, was capped with freshly poured concrete. I stood there, stunned, watching it harden. No one asked. No one warned me. I ran to the HOA office that afternoon, fury boiling under my skin. "You had no right," I shouted at Marlene, the HOA president. Her smug little smile made me want to scream. "We have every right," she replied calmly. "Your well violates community water integration standards. You'll need to connect to the city line." Integration standards? That wasn't even a real thing. But they didn't care. They wanted everyone on the same overpriced water contract they'd negotiated, with kickbacks, no doubt. I walked out, saying nothing. But I wasn't done. I spent the next week consulting lawyers, city officials, even a private investigator. It took time, but I gathered every document I needed: land rights, well permits, city water agreements. Then I made my move. I discovered something delicious. The HOA had made a critical error. In their zeal to control everything, they'd put themselves in charge of managing the community's water usage, but they forgot one thing: they weren't the water provider. The contract with the city, which they claimed was mandatory, had a loophole. A clause stated that the contract could be frozen by a vote from a minimum of 15% of the residents if mismanagement or unethical practices were proven. I spent the next month going door to door, talking to people, showing them the evidence, the kickbacks, the lies, the illegal destruction of my well. I found others who'd been bullied, people who were too scared or isolated to speak up. But they were angry too. And anger unites people fast. We held a vote. The turnout was more than I dreamed. Residents came, some for the first time ever. And when the dust settled, 37% had voted to freeze the HOA's water contract with the city. It was over. The city took back control, pending investigation. The HOA no longer had the power to enforce water access. And as for my well, I had the concrete drilled out and the system flushed. It cost a small fortune, but I smiled the entire time. And Marlene, she resigned a week later. Turns out the kickbacks were traceable. She's currently under investigation. I hear her house is for sale. The best part? I didn't stop there. With my network of newly empowered neighbors, we started challenging every overreach, every fake rule, every bully tactic, every attempt to control us. We changed the bylaws. We replaced the board. The HOA is now a skeleton of what it was, a service body, not a dictatorship. People come to me now. They thank me. They call me the guy who beat the HOA. But really, I just did what anyone would do when their home is under attack. I fought back. And I made sure the next time someone thinks of messing with me, they'll remember this: I don't play games. I win them.